Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at this 2023 Dodge Durango RT. It features the Hemi Orange Plus package as well. Huge shout out and thank you to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. They have a massive selection of brand new, pretty much brand new inventory. That link is down in the description below. So the RT Hemi that you see behind me is finished off in black, and it has an MSRP starting right around $55,000. So let's start off today's review with what powers this. Underneath the hood is the 5.7 liter Hemi V8. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 360 horsepower, 390 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the rear wheels. This weighs in right around 5,100 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds with a top speed of 120 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 24.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 119.8 inches. Its overall length is 200.8. It has a width of 75.8, a height of 72.1, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.1 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this Durango, with the Hemi Orange Plus package, it gives this vehicle a lot of orange accents, as you will see both on the exterior and once we make our way to the interior. So first up, you will notice with the Dodge logo, we have orange stripes on that right side, and then orange incorporated into the matte black vinyl for the driver's side of the hood, which is a really neat touch to see. You'll also notice too, for the hood, this has functional air inlets and heat extraction vents. So we have that inlet right in the middle, and then the heat extraction vents on both sides. Very cool to see Dodge putting functional vents for an SUV like this. This is not the Hellcat, but it's still performance oriented, as well as having the rest of the cutouts to provide even more cooling. Really nice mesh design too. Now this has sensors in the lower section, as well as the sensor right in the middle for the adaptive cruise and all of that tech. And it even has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. With a cool housing, you'll notice that that brush trim piece underneath each housing makes its way to the surround for the grille. So it's nicely incorporated into both sides, blending it together very nicely. But as you can tell, super functional, and it has a great look too. Now for the side, this has a set of 20-inch wheels. They are finished off in a dark gray, mimics that trim piece that you saw up front. We have a multi-spoke design along with the Dodge emblem right in the middle. It would be cool to see that orange as well to tie in a little bit more. Hemi is also blacked out just in front of the side mirrors where these are body colored. This has a sunroof with the roof racks up top. Everything else is blacked out for the side. And it has a good design to it with the lines that you see right in the middle of the door, some indentions at the height of the door handle there. Nothing too aggressive for the side, but it flows nicely, especially for the size. This is a 3-row SUV, so we have a large rear section here to accommodate those seats. Now this also has a body colored spoiler with the brake light. Wiper blade is in the lower section. We have the classic design for the LED taillights with the connector bar running right through them with Dodge spelled out. This has a backup camera, power liftgate, all of these sensors, and even the dual exhaust. And it has a towing capacity up to 7,500 pounds. All you need to do is remove this middle section here to reveal the hitch, and then you can use that when needed. It is nice that you can hide it, so that way you don't have to see it when it's not in use. Now, before we work our way to the interior, let's fire up this V8 and bring it to life. And it sounds really good. We can lock and unlock it here. We can even use the key, the remote there, to open up this power lift gate, where with the 3rd row currently up, you can see there's a little bit of space where you could place some items. There's even hidden storage space up underneath the floor. So once you open this up, you can see it's not huge, but you have some items or some room for some items that you can place down below if needed. Now over on this passenger side, you can see a 12-volt along with this hook area, and it is super easy to fold down the 3rd row. I can do this with one hand just by pulling on that tab. I can do that on both sides. From there, you can see you have a good amount of storage if you have people in the 2nd row, but from here you can manually fold down the 2nd row and get a lot more interior storage. So it really just depends on what you need for the day. And then there's a strap on both sides for this 3rd row. I love how quick and easy it is. They are super lightweight. So just depending on your needs for the day. There's also an area here where you can place a cover if you want to attach that. And then over on this driver's side is the control for that power liftgate. And that will of course close up. Now as we work our way to the back seats, you will notice that the door panel has a neat design to it. You can see the orange stitching, all of the black leather, even this really cool, almost hydro dipped trim piece just above that with an interesting hint of orange to it and some lighting. Now we have the sound system, some storage space, and then the release handle too. And the orange continues its way to the stitching for these leather and Alcantara seats. Beautiful attention to detail. I really like the design for these seats. Now, as you can tell, we have captain's chairs for the middle row and then 2 seats in that 3rd row. In order to gain access, I'm just going to pull on that tab once. I can either pull on that again or pull on this red lever. You can use that from the 3rd row, and that is going to lift up the seat. It's a little bit easier to do with 2 hands, of course. And at 5'10", I can work my way into this 3rd row where honestly, it is not bad. I have an armrest, a cup holder, and that's pretty much it. Plenty of room for my feet, and my head is about an inch away from this Alcantara headliner. Honestly, I could go maybe even out of town and sit back here comfortably. So full-size adults can fit. You can only have 2 back here, but nonetheless, you have the extra seating if you need it. And yeah, it is super comfortable. We have the cutout in the middle, so you can exit that way or lift that tab and go out as I just came in. You'll notice in the middle too, there's a little bit of a grip step if you need to use that, and then 2 cup holders and a little bit of storage just in front of that. And then it is super easy to put that seat back up, and we can make our way to the 2nd row captain's chairs where I have plenty of room. There's also a storage net if you need to use those. 2 air vents in the middle along with climate adjustments. These are even heated seats, and you have some auxiliaries where you can charge additional electronics. Now these seats do recline, so you can get even more comfortable. We have the adjustable armrest, and you can just hang out a little bit more comfortable than the 3rd row, of course, but you have seating for 4 people to be back here and be equally comfortable. Now up in the middle, these are all the climate adjustments, so fan speed, temperature, and where you would like the air to go. We even have some hooks here so you can hang some clothes if you need to. Definitely a good place to be. I love how open feeling it is. Even though this doesn't have a full moonroof, it still feels very open, which is nice for the size. Now for the front door panel, same as the rear, of course, there's all the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments too, part of that Harman Kardon sound system, and even more storage. You will see Dodge down on the door sill, and then a little bit more lateral support for these front seats, and all of the automatic adjustments are down on the side. Now this is a very low SUV, so it's really not all that hard to enter and exit. Now for this leather wrapped steering wheel, you will see solid and perforated leather along with more of the orange stitching. Interesting to note that next to Dodge here, these are red and not orange, as well as the gauge cluster. So I think it would be cool to see a little bit more orange to tie it in. Now on this left side, all of these are for the digital gauge cluster. We have Bluetooth and voice commands. On the right side are all of the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings with the distance pacing. And this even has the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, and it still retains volume and tuning. So that is just underneath each paddle. But let's fire this back up. With my foot on the brake, that button is on this right side, and we can bring this back to life. And then to go through the rest of this info, currently you can see we are on RT. So this is going to show all the performance timers and data that you would like to see, along with your 0 to 60, 0 to 100, you have your G-force meter. All of this performance is easily accessible, which is pretty cool to see. Now we can scroll down to the adaptive cruise so you can monitor that. We can look at all of the vitals for your fuel, and then your trip information, even pull up music. There's any messages. And then the last page is for the screen setup. So you can currently see in the upper left is the compass, upper right is the temperature, and you can change those just depending on what you would like to see and have this laid out the way that works best for you. So it's nice to have all of that info, and it's easily accessible within the gauge cluster. Now on this left side, you will see a dimmer switch for the gauges, as well as all the headlight controls. we have more of the Alcantara and stitching, and it works its way to the gauge cluster cover, going all the way to above the infotainment system. Now for this screen, you will see in the lower section, these are all the presets basically. So we have the home icon, we can quickly get into music, pull up all the climates so you can further go through these, along with the heated steering wheel and the heated and ventilated seats. You can pull up navigation in full screen, look at your phone when you have that paired. Under vehicle now, if I go into performance and launch this page, you can look at a lot more vitals, all these timers, look at all these gauges to have them in a fuller screen. We have the G-force meter along with your pitch and your roll, and then vehicle dynamics. So you can look at your steering angle and then some other information with this diagram here. Now if we go back to vehicle, you can go into controls where you can fold the third row headrest. So if you need a little bit more visibility, you can quickly do that. And then you have all the general settings that you can go to as needed. Over on the far right, we can go through various icons here that you can scroll through just depending on what you would like to use. And if we go back to the home screen, I didn't talk about the split screen where you have the navigation and the phone on that right side. There's also shortcuts in the upper section here where you can quickly get into this information just by touching on them. You can easily go through all of that. There's an air vent on both sides, and then underneath that we have all the physical controls for all of this info that I went over. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. You can shut that screen off if you want it to be a little bit more calm. And then we have all the climates. There's also power and volume for the radio, tuning on that right side, and then everything else is easily labeled and you can quickly go through all of that. Now underneath that we have a wireless charging pad, a ton of auxiliaries, and a little bit of storage. And there's even more of that interesting trim piece and weave over on this right side. Now there's two cup holders with this ambient lighting strip that runs throughout it, a little bit of storage behind the shifter, and then when I put this into reverse, you will see that backup camera up here fills out the entire screen, so you have great graphics. Now you can put this into the manual setting, you can shift using the shifter or those paddle shifters, which is very nice to have. And then for the center armrest, you'll see more stitching. We have a little bit of storage in the upper section, and then when you open this up all of the way, you have a lot more room for anything else that you would like to place. You can even see more of this Alcantara, which is just very nice. More of that trim there, leading over to the passenger side where we have the glove box. There's even a 12 volt for your passenger there as well. And then taking a look at visibility from the driver's seat, it's so open, you really don't have any blind spots. For as long as this is, it's very nice to see that. Now for the sunroof, we have the manual adjusting sunshade, we have the sunroof adjustments, some garage door buttons. The dome lights are on both sides, and this even gets a sunglass holder, which is very convenient to have. As we set off now behind the wheel for this Durango Hemi, like I mentioned earlier, this has an MSRP in the mid $50,000 range. Honestly, I don't think that's too much for what you are getting for this three-row type of vehicle. It's obviously a little bit more than a base Durango, so if you want some performance, you're not quite ready to step up to that Hellcat, this is a good kind of in the middle. We do have the special orange package, which really isn't that much. It gives you some goodies other than just all the orange, as you've seen in today's video, the seats and everything. So it's a nice, cool package. I think you really have to like orange to go with it. I think it looks great on this car, especially being finished off in black. But for 50, 55K, maybe a little bit more without going to the Hellcat, this is a nice vehicle. I like everything that it has to offer. I did forget to mention too that it has sport mode, which changes the exhaust slightly. We can shut off eco mode, and we have some sensors and the lane keeping assist that we can control too. So let's turn off sport mode, and we can give it some gas here using the paddles to see what it sounds like from third. Just a mild acceleration. Let's do that again though. So we'll put sport mode on. The paddles seem pretty responsive so far, but here we go. It's not a quick vehicle, it weighs a lot, but it got up and moved. A little bit more throttle response with sport mode, of course, but it doesn't seem to change the exhaust note. So while this does have some performance to it, It's not a crazy amount. It definitely gets up and moves here. I would like to see more horsepower from this 5.7 liter V8. I feel like it's got to be at least over 400 from this engine. So obviously it's probably detuned a little bit, but I think 400, maybe a little bit more for this model would be nicer to see. But from third gear, it sounds good. I will say it does sound pretty good. But enough of that, we'll put it back and just do the normal setting now. Driving it, putting a few miles on it. I've been in the Durangos before. It's a very nice family style SUV. It's not loud, there's no road noise, wind noise. It feels like a very solid SUV. And from second gear, here we go. Definitely has a good V8 tone to it. Paddles seem to be pretty responsive. It's nice that they are there, so you can use those in those types of driving situations. And that wasn't even in sport mode either. So let's do that one more time. Yep, just a little bit more throttle input. Sounds exactly the same there. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for this $55,000, $60,000 Durango. And I like it. I think all of the materials are extremely nice. It doesn't feel like a cheap interior by any means. We even have leather on the entire dash. I mean, it's a solid place to be, especially for the price point compared to some of the other competitors. If you want something a little bit more performance focused, we have that 5.7 liter Hemi V8 with some tuning capabilities. So if you want to do that afterwards, you have a lot more options in those regards with performance versus some other brands that are just going to be a normal 3-row type of vehicle. And I think it's a cool option. I'm digging the orange now that I've put a few more miles on it, but it's definitely an interesting take. I wonder if they have some different colors that you could do for this Durango. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this family style SUV, the 2023 Dodge Durango RT Hemi with the Orange Plus package. Once again, huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.